I don't know, maybe there's a photo of me in the YouTube algorithm database somewhere that says, do not promote this person. Subscribe to the loony bin. Come and join me. It's probably only going to get crazier if I don't get up to 1,000 subscribers soon. My content and my brain and my delivery is only going to get crazier. It's because our thumbnails aren't good enough, or our taglines aren't good enough, or our keywords aren't good enough, or we're not good enough, or our editing isn't good enough, or we're not flashy enough. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that for some of us, it actually does feel like the algorithm doesn't like us. How can the YouTube algorithm not know who my audience is after 14 freaking years? But here we are, over 300 videos and less than 1,000 subscribers. I cannot physically make people sit and watch my content for 30 seconds so the YouTube algorithm can feel good about who I am as a human being. I cannot do it. It is freaking exhausting trying. When I watch all of these YouTube channels and all of these creators, especially the high-end creators, most of them did not start with creating these amazing spiels at the beginning of their videos. They have evolved to create that. But what I think has happened for a lot of us is that this standard has been created and it's exhausting. And some of us cannot compete. I've created over 300 videos on this channel. And to be fair to me, I have pulled them down and put them back up again, and then pulled them down and put them back up again a number of times, mainly because I am constantly comparing myself to other creators. I am constantly looking at other people's channels, other people's content, how other people present themselves, how other people create these over-edited videos where every single pause or at or but is removed. And I look at that and I think I do not have the capacity to be that perfect. I just don't. I no longer have the capacity to be so perfect and to create everything perfectly. I did this. I created a YouTube channel, not this one, a different one, before I created this one, actually. So it was over 15 years ago. And I've interviewed some of the top people in the world back then about law of attraction and energy. I've spoken to Bob Doyle, Bob Berg. There are a number of different high energy people that I've spoken to and incredible creators. I cannot think of all their names right now. But in an ideal world, I would remove that but and that clearing my voice. But I have done that. I edited my videos back before interviewing things was a thing, back before the Diary of the CEO blew up, back before all of these creators that have been interviewing people for the last maybe 5 to 8 years. I was doing this over 15 years ago on YouTube. I was one of the pioneers of creating these videos. Everyone else was doing interviews on MP3. YouTube was only just becoming a thing, and I decided to start it on YouTube, and I decided to move forward on my YouTube channel with creating this show. It was called The Kaylee Grace Show. And what ended up happening was I would spend hours every day. Again, I was on my own. Who cares? I didn't have anything else to do. I was on my own. I had no other responsibilities. So I could edit my videos up the wazoo. And I did. And they were perfect. I did that all myself. And I was editing videos for hours every day. We're talking 6 to 8 hours every day I would dedicate to editing these videos. And I would put up a video every single week consistently. And I did it for about a year. And then I started to look around. And I can tell you, it got to a point where I just felt bad about myself. And I just started to feel like I was not getting any traction. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to watch my stuff. Nobody wanted to pay attention to what I was doing. And I quit. And I did quit. I pulled everything down. I pulled my entire channel down. I pulled my website down. I pulled everything down that was associated with anything to do with me online. I deleted my Facebook account and I basically disappeared and went underground for a long time until I created this channel, which I think I created this one back in 2011. So that's 14 years. And again, 11 years ago, there was no information about the algorithm. There was no information about how to create content, how to keep content moving, how to make it interesting. It was just potluck back then. And in some ways, I kind of feel like it's potluck now too. And this is the hard thing for so many of us, right? Is that we're trying to share our wisdom online. We're trying to share our content online. We're trying to share pieces of who we are online and hoping that the YouTube algorithm decides that we're good enough. But I see a lot of creators say the YouTube algorithm doesn't hate you. You've got to do these things and you have to do these things and you have to improve your videos week after week after week after week. But what if you're at capacity? What if you are at the capacity that could possibly be in creating videos? What if you cannot physically edit your videos any more than you're already editing them? What if you have reached the skill level of your thumbnails and you're looking at your thumbnails and you're thinking, I cannot make these any better than they already are, right? But it's really frustrating because when you put in effort and you put in the emotion and you put your heart and soul into these videos, and your heart and soul comes in what you're sharing, it's not necessarily going to be the best edited video or the best thumbnail or the best tagline or the best title or the best keywords or the best hashtags. You're putting your heart and soul into this video from the wisdom that you're sharing, right? We share this wisdom and we think, is that not enough? Is that not enough for people to stay even just for 30 seconds to watch our video? Is that not enough for somebody to decide to look at our content and go, they are sharing their heart and soul in this video, and I want to give them at least 30 seconds of my time. So then the YouTube algorithm sees it as a view. But sometimes some people click off after 5 seconds. And I look and I go, yeah, okay, I used to do that too. Now I'm very aware. And now I will actually sit for at least a minute and watch the video. So the YouTube algorithm will actually see it as a view for the person that I'm looking at their video of. It may be that it is in line with what I want to hear, but I've already heard it from someone else. And some people will say, well, that's a bad idea because now you're telling the YouTube algorithm incorrect information. So they're going to start putting that video in front of the wrong people. And I think maybe, I don't know, I am just a human being sitting here in a room creating a video going, you know what, maybe the first 30 seconds shouldn't be what we base our entire life around. Maybe we need to rethink our instant gratification needs and go, if you don't entertain me in the first 30 seconds, I'm out. The information that you have isn't relevant. The information that you have isn't wise. This is the thing I find so heartbreaking about YouTube, is that because you have these massive creators like Mr. Beast and all these huge ones and Stephen Bartlett and all these other big creators who are creating this wow, biz, bang, rainbows, daisies, freaking fireworks in the first minute, that people are now, it's almost like they're going, that you even look at a video. I've noticed it myself. I will look at a video and I'll look at the views and go, oh, that's only got 20 views. I'm not going to watch that. That's obviously not a good creator. And then I find myself scrolling past. I caught myself doing it today and I went, well, hang on a minute. If YouTube has put it in front of me, maybe it's something I want to watch. Maybe it's something that's interesting. But I heard this part of me go, no, they're not worth watching. They've only got 20 views. Find someone that's got 5 to 15 to 20,000 views, 100,000 views. That makes them better. That makes them worthwhile. So we're also battling in this world with channels that basically content creators saying you're not worth something until you have over 10,000 views, until you have your little, what is it, the diamond or the silver or the bronze or whatever certificate you get from YouTube and whatever thing you get from YouTube. There's so much information and so much feedback out there that's saying we're not good enough if we're not up there. But you can't get up there without doing this work. But for some of us, we've been doing this work on and off for years, that you get to a point where you just think, I can't I can't keep beating the same stick over and over and over again. Surely I am not that uninteresting. Surely I am not that boring. Surely I am not attractive enough, or I am not, I don't know, healthy enough or worthy enough, or whatever freaking ass story that is being presented to me at the moment to say your videos aren't worth watching. And you get to a point where you just think, enough is enough, right? Enough is enough, YouTube. I cannot keep creating this content and keep beating myself about the head. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just frustrating. I feel like I am constantly battling an internal battle of judgment and criticism and ridicule and punishment. My content has not changed that much over the last 14 years. It has been pretty consistently about energy, connection, trauma, my life, the struggles that I go through, how I deal with the struggles, tools, patterns, shadow work, energy work. It's all kind of been pretty much along the same line. And if you go back and watch some of my videos, I am vastly further along than I was, which you can imagine how bad I was if this is me vastly along. Oh my gosh. But my content has not changed that much, where I feel like the YouTube algorithm does not know who my audience is, where it's sitting there going, I wonder who her audience is. She talks about trauma and depression and shadow work and nervous systems and dysregulation and law of attraction and spiritual stuff. And it all kind of sits in the same line, but YouTube algorithm still does not know who I am and still does not know what I share and still does not know what my content is. And I do not get why. How can the YouTube algorithm not know who my audience is after 14 freaking years? But here we are, over 300 videos and less than 1,000 subscribers. The YouTube algorithm does hate some of us. It just doesn't seem to understand who we are, or it doesn't like who we are, or it does not like our content. It does not approve of our content. Maybe our content is not presented in an appropriate way. Maybe it is just, I don't know, maybe there's a photo of me in the YouTube algorithm database somewhere that says, do not promote this person. I don't know. I don't know, but some days that is seriously how it feels. After 14 years and sitting at only 760 subscribers, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I feel your pain. If you are trying to move about the world, figuring out who you are, and you're sharing your adventures on any social media, it does not matter whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, pick your poison. But if you have been doing it for a long time and you are still not being seen and you are still not being recognized, I seriously feel your pain. I know exactly how you feel. It is absolute pain in the butt. I don't enjoy it. And for some of us, it actually does feel like the algorithm is not pushing our content out into the world. And it does not seem to matter how good the videos are, how much we edit it, how brilliant our content is. It just seems to be that the YouTube algorithm just is not participating with our videos as much as it is with other people's videos. And I struggle with this concept that says it's because our content isn't good enough, it's because our thumbnails aren't good enough, or our taglines aren't good enough, or our keywords aren't good enough, or we're not good enough, or our editing isn't good enough, or we're not flashy enough. We don't have 10 different flashy things happening in the first 30 seconds. What? Do we really live in a world where people cannot watch someone talking for 30 seconds and go, I want to hear that, as opposed to getting 10 flashing different things thrown at their face to go, I want to hear that. It's engaged my dopamine. It hasn't engaged my critical, logical thinking brain that wants to participate in life and wants to learn something new. It's activated my dopamine brain that's going, oh, flashy light, oh, flashy light, oh, flashy light. Okay, there's enough flashy lights in this content to keep me interested. That stuff drives me nuts. And I find it really hard that if you are not that kind of creator, then you are effectively being punished by YouTube algorithm and by humanity for not creating content that is flashy enough in the world for YouTube and people to want to watch it. And it makes it really, really hard for those of us who are just in this world to share who we are and share our wisdom and share our knowledge and share our stories and share our experiences to help expand and evolve humanity in one way, shape, or form. That is not good enough. It's not good enough. And I guess after 14 years, and I have stopped numerous times over those last well, actually 20 years. Let's go 20 years on YouTube creating content and never actually breaking the 1,000 subscriber mark. It's a hard slog sometimes. And I guess some days I do go, what's the point? Why would I keep creating when I have to live up to this expectation, when I have to live up to this extreme perfectionism that is YouTube creatorship? And if I do not live up to this expectation of perfection, then I am punished by not getting views. It's exhausting. I don't know if I want to keep participating in a world that moves in that way. But then I keep hearing that this is, I dream of YouTube creation. I constantly have ideas every day coming through about what to create, ideas to talk about, and recording different pieces of information. And it's just in my beingness. I guess if it wasn't in my beingness, I wouldn't still be here 20 years later still creating content, right? There's got to be something that is moving me forward. There has to be something that is projecting me forward to keep creating content after 20 years and not ever reaching 1,000 subscribers. And it's this internal drive that I get just to turn up and create content. And there are times where I struggle with burnout and I struggle with self-doubt. And so I stop and I need to take a break. And it's not until those thoughts and the video ideas and the content ideas and the push that I get just gets too much and too noisy that I go, oh my God, I just need to stop my brain from thinking about YouTube video creation. So I'm going to get on and create a video. That's kind of where I'm at now, is my brain is just so fired up with ideas that I am showing up to shut up my brain more than anything right now. Maybe that's not the best reason to do YouTube. I have no idea. All I know is I feel your pain as a human moving about in this world, understanding that humanity is more about flashy lights and is more about um, having perfection put in front of them. And if it's anything less than perfection, then you get rejected. And that is a really, really, really hard slog. And it is a really, really, really hard road. And I guess I am apparently here for it. And let's see if in 15 years' time, I'm still sitting here going, I still don't have 1,000 subscribers. Because man, yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's see if I'm still here in 15 years' time going, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, but I'm here because my beingness is YouTube creation and sharing my wisdom and my information. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Anyway, subscribe. Subscribe to the Loony Bin. Come and join me. It's probably only going to get crazier if I don't get up to 1,000 subscribers soon. My content and my brain and my delivery is only going to get crazier as I go a little bit more insane of the idea of creating content and only getting 20 views. Anyway, that's my spiel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.